Hello friends, I present to you the 5th installment of the project The Most Delicious. Last time we found out whose cherries are better, and now we will find out who has the tastiest pineapple on the market. We will review Blackburn, Dark Side, Must Have, Cabernet, Tobacco, Sapphire, Spectrum, and Element. The 25 people are judging. Those are ambassadors, professionals, and ordinary hookah lovers. In the first round, guests don't know what they are smoking and give a score from 1 to 8 on the border system. But they will also give a score from 1 to 8 on the border system in the next round. Pineapple is the most popular flavor, and all brands have 2 categories. And this is the toughest issue in the history of the Most Delicious. Well friends, here we go. Friends, we're now in the packing area. We have a few changes here. Number one, we don't have a Blackburn ambassador, Alexei Gladkih, so Nikita is going to be packing Blackburn tonight. 3 years of experience. Must Have is gonna be packed by Artyom, Polk establishment, 8 years of experience. In addition to that, we have new brands, it's Spectrum. Spectrum is scored by Yekaterinburg ambassador. His name is Daniil. Daniil, how many years of experience do you have?
4 years.
4 years. And Tao's left us. That's too bad, but we have a new ambassador in Yekaterinburg. It's Alexander. He'll be packing Dark Side. Same old rules, ambassadors score their own cups, but today we have Zahar as a checker. Zahar, come on out. In the last issue, the checker was a technologist Anton Abdulin, but today's checker is Zahar, Rust Punk brand technologist. So we have Zahar with us. Our ambassadors have already filled their bowls. I'd like to ask you, Zahar, what brand do you think has the potentially winning score? Look, actually I'm a supporter of such as compackings with a light indentation without special pits, but they are acceptable. I just don't really know how intensely we will be smoking hookahs. So the slight indentation, the presence of the pit, maybe yes, maybe no. We'll see it in practice. Interesting samples. Here we have Blackburn in it's such a confident, more or less fat. I think it's really fat pack. So confident. We'll see. In fact, I think such characteristics of Blackburn will allow the product to last, but we won't know until we smoke it. Spectrum is solid, such a confident touch too. I personally think it's not even a touch, it's an overtouch. I think it's the Spectrum brand ambassador, and that's doing the packing. That is just my opinion that it's going to burn a little. It is. Let's check how it will be smoked in the process. The most interesting thing, I'll also note that the Dark Side brand has probably the biggest indentation here. I mean in the format of long warming hookahs, indentation has a place too. We'll also check how it will work in fact. Also, the biggest prize for the biggest pit goes to brand Sapphire. This is such a confident pit with thickness of a finger. All the rest of the packings, well, just standard minimum indents, and with the pit or small space. Okay, you're like a technologist for Rust Punk Tobacco, you work at Cabernet for a long time before that. You know everything from the standpoint of how flavor is produced. Look, we have brands like Sapphire, for example. There's Pineapple Fanta. Tell me, for my subscribers, is there a difference between smoking pineapple and pineapple Fanta? Either a pineapple splash or a pineapple boom or a pineapple drop, all this stuff right here. And actually, as practice shows, the name plays its psychosomatic role. But 90% of the flavors are still basic pineapple. It's a basic pineapple, yeah. Friends, that's why we take in everything. Not only mono flavors, but also drinks, splashes, booms, and everything like that. Friends, we do tasting on Misha hookahs. Big thanks to the Alpha Hookah company. This is a very good hookah for both amateur and professional. By promo code COSMO10, you can buy on the website of Alpha Hookah and Misha hookahs with 10% discount. Friends, the blind smoking session is ahead, and this is the most difficult issue in terms of organization. 8 brands were smoking pineapple and 25 people. We got tired of smoking 7 flavors last time we did cherry, but we have 8 flavors here. I want you to support us. I want you to like, repost and comment. And in just 2 minutes we will know the results of the voting. Friends, I just smoked all the pineapples. I can clearly say that there are straight up super flavors that taste like pineapple juice. There are flavors that are kind of perfume, not like some kind of tropical flavor, more like some kind of perfume was added in there. It's difficult. Choosing a normal pineapple is extremely difficult, I can honestly tell you. Watch till the end, let's choose, look and buy this particular pineapple to take home with you to pack a hookah. We're supported by the Coca-Cola brand, my friends. I can see from myself that it's the most stable cooler in Russia since 2018, which does not change its quality. Coca-Cola is the choice of professionals. So friends, the first ambassador we will be interviewing is Sergey, brand Severny. Hi there. So here's your list. Come on, the first hookah. Your guess is Severny. Severny, yeah. Okay, the second hookah. The second is Spectrum. The third is Dark Side. The fourth is Element. The fifth is Blackburn. The sixth is Tobacco. The seventh is Sapphire. And the eighth is Must Have. Okay, what can you tell about the hookah number 1, which you gave an 8 score, and the hookah number 4, which you gave a score of 1? What was such a large difference in? Well, the first one is just tasted good to me. What does it taste like? Well, more a sweet pineapple with a slight sourness. Here, I thought it was Severny. In general, I like many pineapples in general. I can distinguish that there is Severny, this is Dark Side Tasty Pineapple, and Blackburn, but it's different from all of them. It's more with the sourness. Your guess, where's the hookah from Blackburn? I guess it's number 5. I wrote sour. Yeah, so sour. So the shock pineapple is from Blackburn. It is immediately clear, right? Well, it's plus or minus clear, yes. Was it the most sour? Well, as it seemed, yes, it's more sour. Okay, let's assume that we would give every hookah any rating, but we can repeat ourselves. Which hookahs would you give about the same marks? Well, plus or minus, I was hesitant about hookah number 3 and hookah number 1. They plus or minus tasted the same. So both of them are good. Yes, they're good. Plus the Blackburn is out of the competition for me. It's another pineapple for me. It's sour. Here we put the number 1 hookah. What did you write here? Element. Element. Why? Well, it's just that I didn't know what brand it was. I wrote Element by method of elimination. And what was wrong with this particular hookah, and you have, for example, the hookah number 4 is Element, and the hookah number 7 is Sapphire, right? Sapphire, yeah. And number 6 is Tobacco. Yes. Well, it's just that I just assumed in the 6th one the base is more of a T-type. I got that thing. Maybe I'm wrong, there might be a lot of confusion because it's complicated and subjective. Was it difficult to choose pineapple today? As for me, it was the most difficult issue for me because, well, I repeat, I love pineapple and it was wildly difficult. Were all the pineapples good today? Yes, give or take, yes, they were all good. You know, I want to tell you that I can congratulate you on the one hand. On the other hand, I can't. Yeah, for one reason. Because when you see your scores, let me show you the final scores. You'll understand why I said that. Well, actually, I've polled you in general. No more questions for you. What pineapple do you personally recommend from yourself? I personally would recommend Severny pineapple, Dark Side pineapple, and Blackburn's one. Okay, and I just wanted to ask you one more question right away. Imagine that you came to the restaurant to smoke hookah and say, pack me a pineapple. Would you give $14 for the hookah number 1 if they would bring you such a pineapple? Well, yes, overall, was it tasty? Okay, that's it, no questions. Great. So, we have Alexander with us. Alex, let's go to know each other. Hi. This is a new member of the show. Theo will no longer be with us. Theo won't be, will he? Hardly, he sent me here. You're the new ambassador on Yekaterinburg. That's right. What's your experience? Plus or minus 4 years in general in the industry, but with intervals. You worked as a hookah master in an establishment before that. Yeah, that's right. I know that you were an ambassador for another company. I was. What company? Nosh. But why are you so shy? Well, no, I'm proud that I worked in this company in any case. I mean, I'm very proud to be in such a great company as Dark Side. Okay, look, there are your remarks. Do you please read out what you think, what brands are under which hookahs? Read out so people can hear it. Well, but our viewers will already see it. Yes, I assume that the hookah number 1 is Dark Side, the number 2 is Sapphire Crown, the number 3 is Severny, the number 4 is Tobacco, the number 5 is Blackburn, the number 6 is Element, number 7 is a must-have, and number 8 is Spectrum. Okay, you put number 1 hookah according to your assumption or not, because there are 8 points. By the way, do you think Vladislav Petrenko? I already do. No, I know him personally. I just didn't know his okay, and hookah number 7 according to your assumption, what brand is it? It's must-have. You put 7. 7, yes, I did. The last hookah, hookah number 8, what is it? The hookah number 8 is Spectrum. Spectrum, you gave it a 1 point. Right? That's right. What is the cardinal difference between the 2 hookahs, according to your assumption, Dark Side and Spectrum? Here, hookah number 8, I gave it a 1 just because I noticed a distinct bitterness that was present. Perhaps it's because of that it may have been smoked differently. Well, one way or another, basically all the pineapples were tasty, all were complex. You can notice some cardinally strong difference as well on a few hookahs, and so the plus or minus are all interesting and tasty. You've got another mark here. What is written there? Okay, it says sweet with a note of acidity. Do you think it's a Dark Side? Yes, the assumption is that it's a pineapple pulse. That is just a rich pineapple flavor with a sour aftertaste. What other pineapple flavors do you like, for example, from which brands? Yeah, actually, I like pineapple, almost any kind of pineapple, because it's one of my favorite profiles in principle. I mean, I also like, well, naturally rings, I mean just pineapple rings. Yeah, from must-have. That's right, and I gave it, I think, 7. Yeah, 7. Is must-have pineapple rings a good flavor? Yes, it is. I'll say it again, most of the flavors were great. That's the most important thing. Yeah, and the pineapples were really good. I agree. Except for the last one, in your opinion. No, it was good too, it's just not my profile. I mean, I like more such sweet stories, more into the pineapple itself, I think. I don't have any more questions for you. I'll see you in the open session, after the open one. I think you're going to be very surprised. Okay, alright. Thank you. So, Paulina is here, the brand ambassador for Sapphire. And right away I want to say that you only hit 3. Well, that's good. It's already good, yeah. As you realized, this is Blackburn. Why you gave 1 point to Blackburn? Because basically it's not a profile pineapple. I mean, it's a separate product line, and well, it seems to me in principle, it's difficult to perceive it with all those flavors that we smoked. It's just different. So one in relation to this one. Is it a good pineapple? It's good pineapple as a tool in the work. I mean, specifically as a pineapple, I would probably say no because it's too acidic. Regular is not. If I, as a regular person, went to the store and was advised pineapple shock, I think I would die smoking this acid. Well, that's it, yeah. But as a tool, to give the pineapple flavor and the acid, then I think 20% would be perfect. Definitely great. It's probably more of a pineapple booster here than the pineapple itself, I think. In your opinion, hookah number 2 is... Sapphire. Sapphire. Okay, let's assume it. Suppose if Blackburn... You'd think Blackburn was Sapphire. I couldn't. You couldn't. Well, no. Well, because we even have the flavor itself called pineapple Fanta. It's pineapple soda. Accordingly, soda implies a little more sweetness than acidity. So that's why I don't think I could have gotten it mixed up. So I was smoking, along with y'all. I couldn't find it anywhere in any of the hookahs. I found pineapple juice, but I couldn't find soda. No, well, the name is because pineapple Fanta, I don't think it exists at all. It exists. There is pineapple juice, but not pineapple Fanta, I think. I mean, you're naming. Bitters, soda... What's your next one? Kisel? Why not? That's great. And it will be... You can ask Alexei. I think he'll make a great Alexei, Kisel. Let's make... what kind of Kisel? Apricot Kisel. No, let's do the classic, cranberry one. Cranberry Kisel. Okay, that's great. It'll be regular cranberries. Okay, you gave the last hookah 2 points. Tell me please, how do these 2 hookahs, the 5th and the last hookah, differ from hookah number 2 in flavor? 5th and last? Yes. The 5th, well, that's Blackburn in my opinion, it's too much acidity. And the 8th one, for me... Anyway, for me, it was more like some kind of lollipop-like candy. It seemed for me, for some reason, that it has... But at the same time, you wrote that it's Dark Side? Yes. But Dark Side has pineapple pulse, which is hard pineapple, with no candy. No, well, maybe it's the title, but I perceive it that way, so it's purely my perception. Why are they both different from the second one? I like more calm flavors, more even, neat, so... Okay, and hookah number 4, you gave it a 6. Friends, I want to point out that Paulina is the kind of person who always gives the brand a high scores. This brand a high score. Even though other participants give it a low grade. Here Paulina has this point that she loves tea. Let's put it this way, she loves tea. She gave tobacco a 6. Well done, Paulina. I'm not going to argue whether you got into Sapphire or not, because we'll talk to you later. But overall, your scores are pretty good. Really? Yes, for sure. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. So here is Evgeny, the brand ambassador for Element. You're finally on our show. I know that you have new flavors coming out. Or have you already? Tell us please. Yes, they were coming soon. There were 2 flavors. One in the airlines, raspberry jam. It's very sweet with a pleasant sourness. I think it's very much needed by the market right now. The second flavor is Skittles. It's more citrusy with more sourness, but again, it has even a slight sweetness. Coming soon. Be sure to wait for Skittles and the Water and Earth line. Evgeny, I'm really looking forward to trying your new flavors, Raspberry Jam and Skittles. As soon as they come out, I'll be sure to do some kind of Instagram review. But let's get back to our show now. You gave hookah number 8, according to your assumption, Element, 8 points, and hookah number 5, according to your assumption, Blackburn, a score of 1 point. Why Blackburn has 1 point? The thing is that I have a certain barrier of sourness in hookahs. I mean, it's very difficult for me. As I smoked the second one, it was very insanely sour, right on the verge to cough. And the Element for me always had just the right amount of sourness that I could smoke throughout the session. So those are my assumptions. Okay, You've given Blackburn a score of 1. The next hookah you've got is number 6, also a 1 point, and it says Sapphire. Is that correct? Or Spectrum? Spectrum. What is wrong with this hookah? I assume that it's Spectrum, because I felt the bass vividly. There is a certain burly, very well washed. I'm familiar very well with this Spectrum's product, and for me this bass felt very obvious. So again, that's why I'm making this assumption. So is it so pronounced? Yes, well, it's subjective. Very subjective, because it was working earlier in the company. I mean, all the consumers always liked it very much. But apparently because of the fact that I smoked this product very often, the bass began to be felt very bright. The hookah number 6 is score of 2 and hookah number 8 is score of 8. What was the cardinal difference? Well, again, I used to the fact that Element has a sourness that is well pronounced and lasts the whole session. I did 2 rounds, and on the second round, when I tried hookah number 8, I mean, the sourness was still present. So all assumptions are like that. Well, again, given the fact that with sourness it was pretty hard to smoke, but in this brand, I mean, I can feel it easily. Was it difficult to choose a pineapple? Yes, they are all very different, actually all cool. If this was an opportunity to give good marks to all of them, I would have given except for Blackburn. Now, why? It's a good flavor in work, but in the mixes, honestly, I just subjectively can't smoke it. Okay, thank you very much. That's all. Thank you. So now we have Denise with us, the ambassador of the tobacco brand. The hookah number 1 according to your guess is tobacco. Maybe. And the hookah number 5 is Blackburn according to you. Well, yeah, because... Why is that the third ambassador, or even... How many we've polled already? The third or fourth ambassador give Blackburn a 1. And there is no problem with this flavor. But shock pineapple, when we smoke it solo, it's hard to smoke. I mean, if we say the most flavorful pineapple, if we packed a Blackburn pineapple with something, it's lovely, it's sour, it's great, but when solo, maybe I don't like it very much. How is it different from the first one? What exactly? In terms of flavor, you have a 7-point difference. I mean, the hookah number 5 didn't have any problems in it. Just for me, it was just hard to smoke. That's for me personally. The most unflavorful hookah, in your opinion, what is it? Well, actually, I gave a 1 to the 5th, but that's again, here you need to understand the concept of the comfort of smoking now. And in general, how it was smoked. If we don't take Blackburn, what is the least tasty one? I didn't like hookah number 2 very much. Because it tasted a little watery to me. Okay, I got it. Which pineapples in your opinion are good and from which brands? Well, if you take my personal preference, we still have to allocate, is it for home or for work? What were you talking about now? Well, I mean, for you personally, you are a professional. I like pineapple, certainly from our company, Tobacco. I like the authoritative pineapple from the Severny brand. It's good, it's interesting. Blackburn is good, but if we get it in the mix, well, probably Dark Side as well. Dark Side is a good pineapple. Thank you very much. Okay, we have Danila with us. Danila, hi, it's nice to meet you too. Danila debuted on our show as an ambassador for the Spectrum brand for the first time. And I would like to say a special thank you to Karina for being a part of our show. So, are you an ambassador for Yekaterinburg? Yeah, that's right, for Yekaterinburg. Okay, let's go. Hookah number 8, according to your assumption, is Spectrum. And hookah number 4, according to you, is Tobacco. What's the difference? Why is there such a big difference? I felt that way. No, actually, hookah number 4, when smoking, it had a touch of overheated hay, if I can put it that way. Maybe it's just the format of working with the heat because I've smoked tobacco pineapple myself and I know how it opens up. Like it was something similar, but here it was an overheated format, an overheated hookah, so to me it seemed not like pineapple, something not even candy-like, but just an overheated incomprehensible hookah. Hookah number 8 felt good. What about the flavor? It was sour-sweet pineapple, where more of a little candy sweetness prevailed. And for me, it's the pineapple that I prefer, because I don't like it in its pure form as a fruit. That's more here's my candy pineapple. What's your experience? 8 years. Have you worked in an establishment? Yes. And I'm still working. What do you think is the probability that you gave Spectrum an 8? About 80%, I think so. but given my dislike of pineapples, about 80%. I had such thoughts. And pineapples are good. Yeah, I usually recommend it. Hookah number 4 is Spectrum. I don't believe it. That's right, well done. Well done, you passed the test. I don't even know what to say. I wanted emotion, but I guess you'll get it from me. Thank you very much, nothing more to ask. Well done, thank you. We have Artem with us. Artem is not an ambassador, but he was our must-have packer. Let it be such a proxy ambassador for our show from the must-have company. You will always pack must-have. Must-have, if you don't like it, sorry, send your own ambassador. But I think the experience is 8 years? 8 years. I think no one can pack better than Artem. And you put Hookah number 3, in your opinion, it is must-have, 8 points, and Hookah number 6, in your opinion, it is Spectrum, 1 point. What is the cardinal difference between these two hookahs? The third one seemed to me very sweet, rich. I mean, it was very similar to must-have. Perhaps it could be dark side because they have very similar aromatics and sweetness. Well, for me. I didn't like the 6th one at all. I didn't feel any pineapple sweetness. I felt something sweet, maybe even some pie, dessert story. I didn't like it at all. What I tell you if hookah number 3, let's say... Do you have a Severny establishment? Yeah, sure. Let's say it's Severny. What is the probability? Probably also aromatics. Well, you put Severny on the first. Yeah, the 7th place. Here I felt exactly, I think, the base of Severny. So I put Severny at number 7. Yes, you get hookah number 3, must have, and hookah number 7, Severny, yeah. That's right, okay. Hookah number 6, you get 1 point. Do you think that is the hookah that you've smoked before? This particular flavor? Spectrum, in your opinion? It's packed differently. I mean, if I scored one thing there somewhere else, then it's smoked different here. Because I smoked Kiwi 2 in the last issue, the issue before last. It was smoked very differently than this hookah. I mean, the humidity is still affected. I didn't like it under the 7th. Oh no, under the 6th. Like I haven't smoked one of those before. Would you take it into work? No. That's it, no more questions. Thank you. So we have Nikita Davidov with us. You've been packing Blackburn. Yeah. But it should be said that you have recently become a Severny's ambassador in Yekaterinburg. Is that correct? That's right, 4 years of experience. So Nikita, yeah. You give hookah number 7 8 points and hookah number 6 1 point. What is the fundamental difference between these two hookahs? I don't really like pineapple in principle. But I think pineapple number 7 was more bright for me, more tasty. I mean, pineapple number 6 was a little bit unclear for me. Perhaps the hookah was a little overheated. I won't prove my point. The hookah number 7, your guess is must have. That's right, you've hit it. Yeah, super, you got it, well done. Hookah number 6 is Spectrum. Spectrum. Was Spectrum smoked so bad? No, I wouldn't say that. It's just not my pineapple. As it's been a while, probably I haven't smoked it, so maybe didn't realize the profile like I said before. You as an ambassador of the Severny brand, you probably haven't smoked all the flavors. We have a lot of them, but pineapple is one of the top ones. You probably have smoked it. But it was hard to guess here. Is the Severny's pineapple good? It's good, I mean, it's not the best, but there is no best pineapple. Each to his own. Well, like, everybody should understand that for everybody the profile is different. Everybody has different taste buds. Take a look. You can listen too, my dear viewers who are sitting far away. You are the only person who gave a hookah number 3 a 2. The only one. No one else has given it a 1 or a 2, and that's Severny. Congratulate me. Congratulate me. You gave hookah number 3, Severny a 2. That's cool. As an ambassador of Severny, what can you say about it? Well, I can't handle it. We're not scolding you in any way. Well, we're not scolding you. It's just that you came to our show and you don't have the trick to guess Severny, sure. Of course. Here we don't take you as an ambassador for Severny. We don't film you. But I just want to prepare our viewers in advance that there is no cheering for Severny. Nobody is cheering for Severny. Nobody is cheering for it. I even want to commend you. Thank you so much for missing. It was a fair choice. It was a fair choice. I won't flunk you like with Sergey, because... That's after filming, right? No. But it happens. So good for you. But you practically didn't get anywhere with brands at all. It's not a big deal. Except for must-have, I think. And that's it. Well, must-have, you put 8 points. Is the pineapple there good? It's fine. Thank you. We have an open round ahead of us. The ambassadors are smoking their hookahs themselves behind me in order to make everything as clear and transparent as possible. Because they packed it themselves, they smoked it themselves, everything is clear. You can give amateurs a rating. Friends, I want to say right away that 70 Professional has no pineapple flavor. So today we put our classic 70. And it's also very interesting to see how many votes 70 will get. So Sergey is here, the Severny brand ambassador. Sergey, you put Severny and 8 in the open session. How many do you think you put in the closed one? Well, either 8, 7, or worse. I didn't guess. 2. 2 what? 2 what? 2. You gave it a score of 2. Well, alright. Take it easy, you gave it a 7. Alright. Why were you so sure 8 or 7? There's a story about what I told you before. I like both Dark Side and Severny pineapple, equally plus or minus. It's very nice, sweet, with a slight acidity. More kinda natural. How do you think you put Dark Side in the closed session? 8, I think. 8. Do you think an ambassador should give the highest mark to his brand? I've already said that in the issues. If he really likes the taste, he should. 1 point doesn't decide anything there. Look, after all, you put an 8 to Severny. Is it the brand played with the taste or the taste played itself? But if it was bad at Severny, I would give it a 1, 2, 3. I think there would be a big difference there. Thank you very much. I want to commend you again. You have plus or minus the same numbers in all the hookahs. I want to say that it's actually really hard to repeat roughly the same numbers because 8 hookahs. Believe me, it's freaking hard. I think this is the hardest issue we've ever had. It's also a plus when pineapples are all alike. Pineapples all look alike. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Great. Evgeny Katomtsev is here. The Element brand ambassador. Evgeny, you gave Element a mark of 8. How much do you think you put it in the closed one? Considering that in the previous smoking session I only felt 2 more sour flavors. So as I said, it's blackberry and pineapple, which is very hard for me to smoke. And a less sour but pleasant one. The sourness held even until the second time I tried it. It was Element. So it's hitting exactly the natural pineapple. In Duda, on our shifts, we often, when they were sliced, we tasted them. So that's why that association. Yeah, before I give you the grade that you gave in the closed one, do you think an ambassador should give their brand the highest grade? Well, I think it's not a mandatory requirement. Like the purpose of the show is just to pick the most delicious. Okay, if you gave it a mark of 2, I'll show you. Evgeny Katomtsev, Elements 2 and 8. Why such a difference? I didn't feel any sourness there at all. And as I said last time, for some reason I felt it barely there. I don't know, maybe it's due to the fact that now when we warmed up, the cup smoked, that is. So what about element? I didn't even touch the charcoal there. There we were three stable ones, and the aromatics were the longest. Okay, you give the chibaka 2 points. 2 points. And is that correct? Yeah. What did you write on Chibacco? On the flavor side, I felt exactly a dragé, Skittles-like. You give it a marker 7 in the closed one. Wow. How can you comment on that? So actually, I thought it was 70 in the closed session because there was, I guess, I was writing at the time that it was a balance that was very good. Here on the flavor side, for some reason, it opened up. I don't know what it could be related to, but it's just my feeling. Well, you put 77 in the open session. Yeah, just like in the closed one. And 3 in the closed one. And I thought it was 70 in the closed session. With Chewbacca, right? Yeah. In general, everything else plus or minus you have the same. Well, the must-have, you have it in the closed one as 6 and in the open one as 3. Here I felt the bright base very strongly. And just, well, the aromatics were at a very weak level. I think it just seemed different last time. You give 8 to Spectrum in the closed session. In the open one, you put 6. Well, actually, it's been a while since I've kind of smoked Spectrum pineapple. I've never smoked it at all. There, I mean, like I was saying that I has been feeling Spectrum's base very bright lately. Here I did not feel it probably. You should try to smoke it in your place. And Blackburn here and there, 1 point. Very sour, very subjective. I can't smoke just full lungs. Sapphire. Do you think an ambassador should put the highest mark on their brand? Well, no, they were just certain traits. Does it smoke better in the open one? Well, here I controlled heat myself and I realized that it needed more. And so the sourness was revealed. So if you control the heat yourself, it can give plus 6 points to the flavor, right? Depending on, yeah, I guess how the cup has a start. So it will either hold the flavor for a long time, or it may not be there after 10 minutes of smoke. Am I right to understand that even shitty tobacco will be smoked more flavorfully from the hands of a hookah artist or an ambassador? Well, actually, brands should do everything to make the product universal. That's a fact. But I mean, given the theory, the theoretical knowledge of all the masters, they have a very positive effect on the performance of the product. I mean, it's just a cool kind of a boost. You know what I want to say? When I smoked it in the open session, you say try element. I went over, smoked it tasted good. And it didn't taste good in the closed one. I'll be honest with you. Like I got it overall, yeah. But it's not a 6. I don't think it's a 6 points, so to speak. I don't know, actually, I was just flavorfully picking. I mean, like in previous issues, I didn't really stick to the brand in any way. So, Alexander is here, the new ambassador for the Dark Side brand. Before I interview you, I want to ask you, what was your recommendation to tell when you came here for the event? The first thing is to take it easy, the second thing is respectively just to see what mass market flavors exist in general. And it's desirable to just smoke specifically remember some things. Okay. Okay, did you know what the flavor would be? Not at all. And what did you smoke? I smoked apples, pineapples, I smoked watermelons. Before the issue? Well, yeah, I mostly smoked the ones from Dark Side. Just to understand. To see, yeah. Also, well, and besides that, a few brands that I had in walking distance. Okay, you gave Dark Side a mark of 8 in the open session. And the open. What grade do you think you gave it in the closed one? But before I do, I want to ask you, what do you have written near Dark Side? Pineapple with the slight sourness. Okay, how much did you give it in the closed one? An 8. You give it a 3. Well, do you repeat after tell? Anyway, it's a meme. Yeah, you give it an 8 too. That was just a joke. You give it an 8. Take it easy a little bit. I want to say that you did a phenomenal job of identifying absolutely all the flavors in the closed one. Absolutely all of them. Really? Yeah, that's the absolute truth. You are the only one. In the closed one? In the closed one. By brands, I mean. Like it's the first, second, third, and fourth. For me, it's a shock because we don't have so many people who can accurately identify all the brands. But you just, let's say, not too much, but failed in repeating the scores in the open session. Because I didn't memorize. There was such a moment when we were already approaching with clients. How do you feel as the person who came, smoked all the brands with accuracy, and failed to repeat the estimates in the open session? Because I realized that wasn't the goal, but no, I had a goal. I mean, first guess what brands they are. And as it turned out, I guessed them. As for the open voting, I mean, I had no time to compare with the old assessments. Moreover, I have already forgotten the old assessment a little bit. And I just went up, smoked, put it up, went up, smoked, put it up. That's all. So there are some differences from that. But again, there are mostly 2-point difference. You've given 1 to Spectrum. In the open session. That's correct. How does it differ from Dark Side in taste? So it's more tart. Just to a 1 point? No, the point is that it's also tasty, but I would more, for example, put together something from it. Some kind of alcoholic cocktail. I mean, I even wrote a little bit in the open one there that it reminds me of some shade or more like of a tonic. I mean, it reminded me of a lemon Schweppes, for example. So kind of bitterly tart. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not specifically my How much do you think you gave it in the closed session? Also 1. Also 1. Well, I actually want to congratulate you, really. You did well for making your debut and identifying all the brands out there right away. I think you will get your share of fame because people in the comments write generally that it's great, the dude is a professional and so on. I congratulate you on that. Is the pineapple from Blackburn? Is the pineapple from Darkside is a delicious pineapple? Absolutely. Is it the most delicious for you? The most delicious for me. That's it. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. So we have Paulina with us. I don't know where to start, Paulina. Well, you've got to start somewhere. Let's say must have. Come on. You gave it a 3. How many do you think you gave it in the closed smoking session? Well, somehow I'm pretty sure that I didn't give it below 3. Either a 3 or higher, because I'm basically familiar with the flavors. Well, it's not bad. Is pineapple rings a delicious flavor? Yes. Why is it 3? Well, compared to what I smoked, it's just 3 for me in this case. Because at the moment this flavor as it is, it's not relevant for me. But as a flavor, basically it's cool pineapple in the market. You gave it a 7. Well, there you go. That much higher. Well, it's kind of the opposite. I'm the opposite. I'm glad I didn't give it a lower rating. Spectrum. You put Spectrum 4 in the open session and 2 in the closed one. I can probably see why, because it also happened to me that the first hookahs in order, the first 4 hookahs, are kind of from one profile. Then 5, and 6, 7, 8 are another profile altogether. And seriously, is that how it happened? Yes, it turned out to me that the first ones were more calm, more balanced. And probably even in the scores, you can see it in the first one, in the close voting. That the first drop are some of the highest estimates, and the second just to reduce it in half. Here, it just came out too intense for me. And why did the second one get higher? Because we did our own balancing, and the ambassador probably brought it into a better balance, and it smoked like more full-bodied, more flavorful. The ambassador is better at packing its products than, or rather, I'll put it in the other way around. If an ambassador is going to warm up and pack his product, is that better than he's going to pack it but not warm it up? I think in fact the decision of how the cup is gonna work depends on the heating. I mean, not the way the tobacco is laid. I mean, if a master, especially an ambassador, sees how the tobacco is laid in the bowl, he understands what to do with it. He understands how much heat the bowl needs, how to stabilize it, I mean. Heating is the first 5 to 10 minutes, when the work of the cup for the long term is decided. So heating can dramatically, very much so, yeah. That's what I wanted to hear from you. So Denise, the brand ambassador for tobacco. You've given your brand a mark of 7. How much do you think you put it in the closed one? Well, judging by the tone of the question asked, a little bit less. A little bit. I think it's a 4. 5. Well, it's not that far. What do you think? Here you put 8 to dark side. 8. How much do you think you put it in the closed session? I think it was a 6. You give it an 8 as well. Does that count as your heart belonging to dark side? No. No? No. Why? This is where I evaluate specifically how flavorful is given hookah is at the current moment, how it is currently tasty. Because if we're going to parse options, here it's possible how tasty this hookah is within the cosmetics. That I'm packing this for myself personally, where I might think about how flavorful it is if I were the one scoring it for the guests. So I try, at least I try, to think about, is it tasting good or not tasting good for me now? You put Sapphire 4 in the open session, 2 in the closed one. Well, I can tell you, I felt that way. You put Element 5 in the open session and 3 in the closed one. There's probably such a point what I've actually seen before. And what you were asking the ambassadors before me about. I think this colossally has a place within the warming up. When the ambassador himself works with the warming up, he understands when the flavor has kicked in. And since we're going to have a well-masked smoking session, it's worth it to put it on 2.5 already. In my opinion, this also plays a role. Look, what I feel about warming up the bowl. Look, here's an auto mechanic. Gets in his car, presses the clutch, starts it up, the car warms up. A man who just got his license gets in, presses the clutch, starts it up. But you say the car mechanic warms up the car better. It looks like this. I know how it looks, but let's be honest. There's a little bit, we're talking about different realities here. If we put 3 coals, we smoke. We have people who are professionals, I smoke. We have Felix, who he has almost 10 years of experience there, he smokes hookahs. I don't think there is any difference. Either an ambassador or a professional hookah smoker will smoke it, there's no difference. Look, there is a difference in flavor between the first and the second smoking session. There is. We say, I see people packing bowls because I'm packing, and people around me are packing. I see that everyone is more or less comfortable. They score normally, so there is not a strong indentation there. There is not a very fat touch. There is not a draft anymore. Everything is comfortable. Why they are different then? It would take away the point that I guess packing is different from psychosomatics and brand pressure. That's the factor that I would call it too, because it's present, yeah, it is present. But it doesn't pull a 6, 4, 8. Look, without reference to the brand, I was recently at one. I was leading a masterclass and another ambassador was to lead a masterclass after me. New flavor, his packing. He says these coals didn't give as much heat. The flavor didn't kick in. I mean, it depends on the heat. It depends on the heat. At least some percentage. There's a good excuse, the flavor didn't kick in. It didn't kick in like it should. I get it. Because it would take even the same tobacco pineapple. It smokes either more candy-like or more natural, or it goes into a little bit, well, not even dessert-like, some sweet, natural, at different heat. I think the only thing that makes an impact in the open versus the closed session is the brand. Nothing else. No warming, nothing. But also an influence from the ambassador. Because you, when you're here, you're talking to each other. Somebody is somebody's friend, someone is someone's buddy, and you want to put a higher score. Thank you very much, Dennis. I have no more questions for you. Tobacco is delicious pineapple, honestly. So Artemis here, Polky restaurant, 8 years of experience, he packed a must-have, gave must-have an 8. Must-have must now pay you money. Must-have, text me. How much do you think you gave it in the closed session? I think an 8 too. You gave it a 5. 5. So we got it mixed up with Severney. Good for you. You're confused with Severney, yes. You put 8 in the closed one and 5 in the open one to Severney. Well, I'm just talking about it in terms of aromatics. But must-have is sweeter. Do you understand what I was asking you? Yeah, I'm telling that I reminded the last conversation. Okay, you gave Element a 6? How much do you think you gave it in the closed session? I can't tell you exactly in the closed one. 1. Well, I didn't know. Well, it somehow smoked differently in the open smoking session. Perhaps it was just the brand that was present somehow, although I was something detached from it, but here it was, if it was pushing me. Okay, you gave Spectrum A1 in the closed session. In the open one. In the open one. And 6 in the closed one. Well, I can't comment here. Because it seems to me that in the closed one I felt the very spectrum. Somehow it didn't seem to me some kind of pineapple. I mean, well, I didn't like it at all in the open session. Was it difficult to choose a pineapple? Very difficult. Well, according to me, there should be, let's say, a few pineapples in an institution anyway. There is a question I want to understand personally. Did our show teach you something when you come for more than the first time? Like, after this tasting. Well, what background do you live with? What do you form? I mean, I've always smoked mixes. Here it's more shallow, and I feel some flavors in a new way. I mean, I already see that, let's say, I can smoke some pina colada with this and that. And somehow solo flavors. They reveal the whole theme in more detail. Have you changed your opinion towards some brands? No. I've been smoking for a long time and about... No, though Sapphire surprises me a lot every time. Have you put Sapphire on your shelf? Yes, of course. After the show? No, probably after some smoking sessions. Alexei came to us, we smoked it, we liked it. And now it's more and more surprising. Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you very much. That's all. Here is Danilo, the Spectrum brand ambassador. Do you consider yourself an honest person? Moderately, yeah. Moderately on one point, right? I think that somehow it's necessary to clarify this point. So we give 7 points to Spectrum in the open session. Yeah, that's right. And 8 in the closed one. Like I said, yeah, I did. I felt like it was Spectrum. It was the last hookah in the closed session. But I would agree that I heard it from the guys in the open one, actually. Now when there were other interviews, Element was smoked really well. And I give Element an 8 because I think you have to be an unevolved brand somewhere in this. But you have to evaluate objectively. You gave Darkside a 6. Yeah. How much do you think you gave it in the closed session? I don't know, I honestly don't know. 2. Moderately honest. Well, okay. You gave Chibako a 1 in the open session. How many do you think you gave it in the closed smoking session? 1. That's right. So I won't swear, but you... Severny got a 3, and in the closed one he also got a 3. Sapphires got a 4, and in the closed one is 4. Blackburn is 5 and 5 in both. You give Element an 8, and in the closed one a 6. So is plus or minus. Plus or minus everything. Everything is normal, except Darkside. Why did you dislike Darkside so much, and liked it so much in the open one? Honestly, I don't know where it was in the closed one. It was in the closed one. I'm going to tell you in a second. Just a second. I'm sorry. I need to be clear in this. In the closed one, it was under the hookah number 1. So it was number 1. I know the situation. I especially stood at the very end of the line so that in case of anything I could say when at the end the hookahs were overheated. So is it a moderately honest person? Moderately honest person. Moderately honest person. Actually, I don't know. I put everything according to my feelings, and probably on the first smoking session it seemed to me that ours was not the most delicious pineapple. 8 hookahs, and by the last hookah it's already hard to remember what it was at the beginning. Actually, I want to congratulate you. You put good marks for your brand. And that's the most important thing for an ambassador. Thank you very much. Thank you. Come and see us again, for sure. We have Nikita Davidov with us. He was packing Blackburn. Tell us please, should an ambassador give the highest mark to his brand? If the flavor is really successful for the ambassador, he likes it, why not? Is this the second time you've been to our issue? Yes, I was in the first issue. About raspberry? Okay, and why there is such a big disagreement on brands? Because In the second session, the hookahs I think were smoked in a more relaxed way in terms of smoking. The ambassadors controlled them at the beginning of the warming up stage. So again, warming up has an impact? Warming up affects a lot, yes. The ambassadors played with the coals. The ambassadors controlled the temperature with their poles. And it had a very big impact. Question then. You gave must-have 8 in the closed session and 7 in the open one. Yes. Can we conclude from your statement that the must-have, no matter how you warm up, it's always consistently good? Well, we had a person who kept track of the must-have. Well, you gave it a good mark there and there. Well, good pineapple. Must-have. But it doesn't affect here. Well, no, but each product needs to be warmed here, but on Blackburn, on Element, on Spectrum, on Severny, and on Dark Side it is probably influenced by the fact that I was going at the end. Some hookahs were a little bit cooled down, some hookahs were more overheated. So if I had been Will I be the first to stand next time? Yes, of course, if they call me. Sure, come on over. Let's make a bet with you then. Come on. You'll be the first to stand in the next issue, okay? If you have another inconsistency, you do 50 push-ups for the camera. And we're gonna put that on the show. We're putting it in on the show. Okay. Everyone remembered. Yes, we're all agreed. Is it a good content? No, they didn't listen. What if he won't push up? What if he won't push up? Well, we will. Well, I have to. Yes, we'll force him. I'll push up. I'll be practicing. When are we going to film the next issue? In a month. I'll be practicing. You will be. There will be an issue in a month. In fact, Nikita, everything is really okay with you. Of course. Because it's very hard to get in the right one. I myself would have, I think, I would have a big disagreement on some of the hookahs. But you, as a normal person, you voted absolutely fine. I was putting the way I felt. I think if you go out to our events more, you'll feel more and more those moments, the notes, and it'll get more and more into the rules. But it's also an experience. That's for sure. Because maybe the guys who have been in all 5 editions, they are better at it. 100%. Thank you very much, Nikita. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Alright, friends, we are at the finals, and I'm honestly a little bit shocked by the results. I've told you this before. 8th place, 74 points. Element. That's it. 7th place, 84 points. That's 10 more. Here we go with the classic, Tobacco. 6th place, 108 points. Sapphire. 5th place, 108 points. 1 point more than Sapphire. Blackburn. That's not all. 4th place, 113 points. That's 4 more. That's Severny. 3rd place, 120 points. That's must-have. Spect. 2nd place, 124 points. Spectrum. 1st place, 132 points. Dark Side. And now, with your ambassadors, quietly and together with me, are slowly freaking out. 8th place, a total of 75 points. Spectrum. In the open session. 2nd place in the closed session, and the last in the open one. How's that? Very loyal. Very loyal. 7th place, 80 points. Tobacco. Stable. Tobacco always goes steady. Let's move on. 6th place, 98 points. Must have. 3rd there, 6th here. 5th place, 111 points. Sapphire. Let's see, Element isn't on the horizon yet. 4th place, 112 points. 1 point more than Sapphire. Element. 3rd place, 120 points. Severny. 2nd place, 122 points. Blackburn. 1st place, 146 points. Dark Side. What can we learn from this issue? First of all, the difference between the second, third, fourth, fifth there is 2 points each. It's minimal, that's first of all. Secondly, Blackburn from 5th goes up to 2nd, with a difference... a big difference. And that makes it clear that the people that we didn't poll are amateurs. They pumped Blackburn so hard. They didn't like it in the closed session, but in the open one. And Spectrum is a surprise to me. How it is in 2nd place in the closed one, and in last place in the open one. The difference is practically twofold, almost 70 points. Or 60. It's unbelievable. It's just a big surprise to me. Is the results. How a must-have in 3rd place from 120 points fell to 6th place for a total of 98 points. In the open one, it's also unbelievable. Perhaps this is the attitude. Once again, I want to say, must-have brand ambassador and must-have company, please send us an ambassador to work with the consumer and, I don't know, hit in the face, do something, I don't know, so that they put normal scores in the open one. And let's know the sum, which is also very interesting. 8th place, 164 points, Tobacco. 7th place, 186 points, Element. 6th place, 199 points for Spectrum. 5th place, 218 points, Must Have. 4th place, 219 points, 1 point more, Sapphire. 231 point, 3rd place to Blackburn. 233 points to Severny, 278 points, Darkside. Darkside's gone again. You're not gonna catch it up. Friends, thank you so much for watching. Give us a like and we've got a nomination to look forward to. Alright friends, we have an incredible conclusion to the experiment. I don't think this has ever happened before. First of all, I want to start with the most delicious. It's Darkside. No matter what anyone says, no matter how badly they treat Darkside, and no matter what they write on the internet, that it's no longer for pros, it's mass market and all that, but Darkside really, for the 3rd issue in a row, has become, in my opinion, the most delicious and objectively very good pineapple. You can't argue with that. I can't say for sure that a great work is going on, not only in the marketing of Darkside, but also inside the pack itself. Darkside is really good, the most delicious, and this is the indicator of both closed and open voting. But what happened next? I can't even explain. Friends, if you have some explanation, please write it in the comments, and we will give a prize for that. Look, the most stable, there are 2 brands here. It's Tobacco and Sapphire. Minimal difference in the voting. Next, Element has the strongest marketing. Look at this. Element is 74 in the closed one and 120 in the open one. What do you call that? How do you explain that? I don't know. It's either the real flavor has become better, or the work of the brand itself on the territory of Ekaterinburg, which has gone up so much. Spectrum. Anti-marketing, anti-rating, I don't know what to call it again. From the 2nd place of 124 points, it rolled to the last place of 75 points. What do you call that? I don't know either. We're like, I guess... Well, you can't call it an anti-marketing nomination, but it's something. What to call it? Again, post in the comments, so we can find that kind of disagreement and make a nomination next time. That's it, friends. This is the end of the issue. And we have a classic contest. We're going to be giving away merch from a variety of brands by ourselves. The raffle will be July 1st. And please post what happened at our issue today in the comments. Exactly what can you call this arrangement with places? The most objective? Good post. Get invested in it. One will get a 100 guaranteed merch set. For the rest of you who also have good comments, I'll gift again bowls and something interesting from my stockpile. That's all for now, friends. Subscribe to our channel, put like, don't forget to comment, send it to your friend. Thanks everyone, and see you again. Bye bye.